Yeah. All right. All right. Reason I'm so happy now. I'm just up. Right now, what I'm about to say is I still have to seek an attorney, regardless on what I've just learned on some recent videos. And we, as I saw in the title, that FTC and COPPA may be all bark, no bite. Basically, because the violation was against YouTube, not its content creators. But they want to blame the content creator anyway for this mess. But then YouTube has their own way of why we are uh, required to do the markings. Well, like I said, we still have to get an attorney's advice on this situation. So basically, if it turns out to be true, it's going to be a great day for the content creator. But if you're still going to do child content, it's still going to be a financial loss, but you can still make it up in other ways. There's advice out there already telling those content creators there is other ways to make money besides AdSense, like merchandising, and it sounds like if the advertisers gets their way, if the channel is big enough, they'll go right to the the YouTube creator, say, "Hey, we'll give you a deal if you sponsor. We'll sponsor your video if you tell your audience. We'll give them a discount for whatever they want to sell or any online service." That, if I but like I said, I will seek an attorney on this information that I just got today through some YouTube videos. They're like YouTube lawyers, but they telling you get your own attorney to to kind of look into verify if you can afford one. And right now, we can't afford one. So, well, hopefully, if someone is looking at a possible, if only way we get an attorney to look into this case if there's a possible class action lawsuit, which I probably not doubt it still could happen. But I just learned on a couple of the videos that federal government case against its YouTube creators is weak, very weak, uh, because we create the content and all they're required YouTube technically require YouTube was supposed to pass the information to us, saying we have to label our videos, either for kids or not for kids. Like I said, if you're in doubt, seek your own lawyer. All right, just seek your own lawyer to see if because everybody will interpret the situation differently. And if I saw the guidelines, if I read the guidelines, I read that guidelines like 20 times already, and it's very vague and very contradicting to each other. So that's on YouTube's legal posting towards us, but then the same posting that the FTC is doing is basically almost is just as vague on their end. So to me, under my eyes, but like now, I'm not no attorney and never will be an attorney. So if you're a YouTube creator, you should seek your own counsel to make sure you're within the guidelines and something like that. So yeah, it sounds like what I heard is even if they do take a case and show somebody as an example, try to make an example, it's going to be hard to find a judge to be sympathetic to. Uh, they'll have to find a judge that is not so hateful to the creators because the one rule that they were pointing out that someone was pointing out was that the website is YouTube. YouTube is the website. They're the website operator. The content creator is not the operator of the website. We upload to YouTube or do a live show to YouTube, and basically, it's YouTube has to make that legal decision. If that to make sure I said, if we market as not child friendly, and we intended that it is our videos are not targeted for kids under the age of 13. If you do make content that is child friendly, you have to market that. But it's going to be a very, like I said, sometimes it can be an easy case or it can be a very difficult case. I've heard cases, I heard some videos talk about the ones who are American citizens. We have the Constitution of the United States. Uh, it would be a constitutional First Amendment violation if the government decided to come and question the content, and it would be a violation of the constitutional rights, protected rights. Now, even Google and YouTube does not have to follow through on the constitutional rights that we have because they're a corporation. They have to protect their interests in business in that. But when it comes to the federal government, it is 100% guaranteed. And it is if you're a constitutionalist, it is almost 100% guaranteed, basically. But like I said, uh, if you're a content creator, seek out an attorney if you can afford one. If I can get an attorney and if he sees something down the line as a class action lawsuit, he'll take the case. But if we don't see a class action lawsuit, he won't even touch us for one bit because we can't afford an attorney ourselves. So we're basically going in literally blind. Literally, we're going in blind. For smaller creators that can't afford attorneys, we're just going in blind. But I'm gonna. It just sounds like we may be. It's just FTC just on their press conference. If you look at the press conference, you can tell the guy he's there going, oh, pounding his chest and going doing that Tarzan thing. It's like he's, but as he pursue the cases, he's gonna find out he's got a lot of potholes along the way. So he's got to dodge if you're an FTC want to go after the creator or COPPA wants to go after the creators, you have to dodge the potholes that's already been set forth by rule of law, I guess they say. But also remember this: First Amendment constitutional free speech rights. Technically, if we have, but otherwise, I think 20. It just might be it could be still water under the bridge. At least it's not going over the dam right now because it looks like we had all that water going over the dam, but it seems like it sounds like it's receding. But it is your channel. But as for deleting deleting the channels, I know I mentioned about last night's video. I did mention about Daily Motion, and I guess Daily Motion will only be the last option. But come to realize is even the FTC will have control over that too. They'll figure it out that if all the content creators, let's say for example, I'm just going to say for example, let's say if all the content creators take their videos and put it to Daily Motion or other video websites, FTC is going to figure it out that hey, you're dodging YouTube going over here. We're going to slam the same rules over there too. Which technically it is the same rules, technically in a way. But just be on the safe side. Mark your videos. If you're a content creator, mark your videos as either kid friendly or not kid friendly, and just see what happens after that. Just to see what happens that. But just go into individual videos, just to make sure. If you looks like I have a couple of amusement parks and gameplays, I'll have to mark those as kid friendly anyway. Anything else that's going to have looks like if anybody watched my baseball vlogs, everybody knows, and sometime down the line in that video, everybody knows the 4-letter word BEER, beer. The word beer will be mentioned in the video, and you will actually see the beer in the video. So how, like I said last night, how can you have a stuffed animal and all of a sudden you're enjoying a cold one in that same video and technically, like I said, anything in my apartment that is owned by us, it is our collection. It's not meant to be child enticing and child provocative items. It's just stuff that we have collected that we like to collect, basically, and it's just our items that we would do. And if FTC wants to do that, pointed, hey, those items got to go. I'll tell FTC, it says, read between the fingers, because you have no right to come in this apartment or anybody's house to have them go in and change their setup, how they set up their house and live in. If it has to be in the video, it's in the video, and all that stuff. So it's like I said, the wording on the word. If I saw the guidelines, I said the key word that everybody's been saying, all the creators that's been talking about this, the word is vague. All the wording is very vague. And that's one thing we're going to point out. If we have ability to afford an attorney, we will point that out. The wording is vague. But right now, it's basically for the content creator, just go ahead and create your content on YouTube. Just go as the way it is. Just make sure it is properly marked. If you think you're in doubt, like I said, talk to your attorney about your channel, because they'll tell you what it is and not. And also, they might look into the case too to see, hey, they can't have no case against the creator because because YouTube is the one got caught tracking the audience, and the analytics that we get from YouTube is collected in our behalf. Whereas it's basically, if FTC was going to make a case of that, then I would say let's get rid of the analytics. Just get rid of the analytics. So this way we are free and clear in that situation. If I had to get rid of one thing on YouTube, I'd rather get rid of the analytics, because that is considered a form of tracking our audience in a way of what we get. But no, we don't get nothing under the age of 13. So basically, that's how they get us free and clear. But they are collecting. They got caught collecting under the age of 13 somehow. That's through whatever it is. That's why they got caught. And they just conveniently want to blame the creator again. It's nice to hold creators accountable. It's maybe the way to scare them a little bit. But if you're going to hold the creators accountable, it is supposed to be YouTube's job to do that. And it's also the job of the audience. If they think that video is too violent, too gross tech, too upsetting, what I mean upsetting is, let's say if someone decided to show somebody's got a fight and there's injuries and blood and all that stuff, that's just grotesque. And that the fighting videos on the subway system, those got to get cleaned up. We don't need that on YouTube. See, a lot of people maybe delete their good family channels, and this is one thing a lot of attorneys are pointing out to. I said, what's going to happen when all the good stuff is gone and all the bad stuff is still up on YouTube? Guess what? The kids are going to watch it anyway, because all the good stuff is gone. All the fights and violence is still up. Kids are going to watch it anyway. So I would say possible good news, but seek your attorney to find out. Okay, just if you're a content creator, just be aware. It may be all bark, no bite. Technically, in a way, if they're going to make an example, they're going to go example to a channel that has the money. They can possibly pay all the fines, unless they go out a small channel that has no money for an attorney. Unless that's not going to happen, which I doubt it, because we'll file for bankruptcy if it does happen. But as far as we know, it's this. As far as I know, these advice can change all the time. Hey, Adventures of John and Julie, how you doing? And that. So, yeah, I just learned on a series of videos tonight. Just watched a couple of series of videos tonight that the FTC and COPPA against the YouTube creators is all bark, no bite, according to some of these. So that's called so-called. They are attorneys, but they're not giving out legal advice. It's just their opinions. So you have to seek your own attorney for this and that. So, hi Ben Rose, how you doing? And that. So as but like the biggest violation, we have to remember is this: the FTC would and COPPA went after YouTube as a corporation for tracking information for kids uh, for direct ads and that. And and as for that guy who was making that speech, you still got to take it seriously anyway. But he was going like this, pounding his chest, and just want to scare the creators. And the boy, did he did a good job to scare the creators. But as you look at the guidelines set forth by YouTube, if you look at the guidelines set forth by FTC, many people says the word is vague, very vague. But if I found out if they actually take a channel to court and sue them for mislabeling their videos, I guess they said their case could be in trouble as soon as they get into the court. But they have to find a judge that does not like YouTube at all, does not like YouTube and YouTube creators, and that's going to be a tough trying to find a judge for that. But like I said, it's going to be. And somebody else has said on some of their videos says the First Amendment free speech could be trampled on, not by YouTube or Google, because they have a right to do that. They have the right to do that because we're on their platform. It's the federal government that does not have the right to silence our videos and that. So, yep. It should be you. It should be Tube's fault for, yep. And yep, that's exactly what they did. That is exactly 100% they did. Because they want to blame the creator. That's why we are required to do either our videos either has to be child friendly, which is under the age of 13, which we lose about up to 90% of the monetization if you're monetized. And if you're not child friendly, there's a chance that you can get investigated. If you're trying a couple of videos, YouTube can fix it one way or another on their own. But as far as I know, it's just the way that YouTube wants to blame, because they want to dodge the bullet again. But according to some people, YouTube cannot do that and pass the buck on to the creators because we're not the one did not track the information in the first place. The information we get is called the analytics. That's the information that YouTube gets us for our behalf. It tells us who's our demographics that watches our videos, basically what country and states they're watching from, if you have enough click action, and audience retentions and all that stuff. It's something that YouTube attracts to for all the creators on our behalf. But when it comes to tracking for advertising, we have no say. And like I always said to many people, when it comes to if you're monetized, YouTube creators does not have the authority what ads they like to see, but we do have a right what ads we do not want by making that action into the settings, basically. So yeah, there's going to be a good possibility. If I'm wrong in this, remember this: if you're a YouTube creator, seek your own counsel. Seek your own counsel. That is it. This is just my opinion. What I just learned tonight through a series of videos. Everybody has their own opinions on it. Seek your attorney if you think if you have enough money to seek your own attorney. I'll talk to mine, but I think mine is I'm going to try to see if we can wait till see if there's a class action going on. Then we want to jump in because there's more. Actually, there's more rewards for a class action than basically. So I would say we'll just wait, see what happens down the line. But even if we do, let's say, for example, if we do move the videos to Daily Motion, guess what? Newsflash, FTC will find out eventually. In fact, they will control. In fact, if that's an American-based company, they already cracking down on that over there too. So, and actually, I just learned last night. I found the very popular YouTube channel at one time. They used to be uploading videos at one time. The Shaytards. I checked their Daily Motion videos. Their view counts were Bad. I mean, really, really bad. YouTube, they get like 1 million views over Daily Motion. They don't even get 70 or 80 views. So Daily Motion would not be the best option, like a lot of people said. The monetization is there, but not enough. There is monetization on that platform, but you just can't get enough views because it looks like YouTube is the website for video sharing. Uh, Also, let all the creators create our own content and all that stuff. But right now, we just gotta make sure our content is either targeted for kids or not for kids, or if they're not for sure, let YouTube decide by based by video on video basis, and that's it. Uh, Always and check with your attorney. Get it done before the first of the year, if all possible, to make sure you are free and clear what you're doing. But just let them know that we do not collect information from the audience. It's just the information we get. Just tell them about how the analytics work and how they track the information through the analytics to let us know who's our audience is, how they like the videos, how they rate the videos, how they comment the videos. And right now, it looks like a lot of channels are losing financial incentives, but there is other financial incentives. There's merchandise, and advertisers will probably contact some of these channels individually for sponsorship deals. And you can make a lot of money in a sponsorship deal if you can get if you get a nice big channel that's not getting monetized very well, and they got a good merch line that sells merch. Well, then because the advertiser is going to pay a lot just to get their ads noticed. So they'll take a big YouTuber of any size that averages at least anything like 250,000 views and higher. I think that's going to draw interest to a lot of uh, corporations and businesses to say, "Hey, we'll sponsor your video and give your viewers a deal, and we'll help you out financially in a way, basically." So that would be the only incentive that those channels has, basically. But as for the FTC and COPPA and going after the creators, it's going to be a tough case. According to a couple of people, it's going to be a tough case because there's a couple potholes, quite a few potholes they have to go around. And these are big potholes, huge potholes. So they have to have one rule that they have to go by. They have to go by that one rule. That's the only ace in the hole that uh, FTC, and I can't remember what it is, but I can't really want to say it anyway. Uh, I can't remember what it was anyway. So yeah, it's just we gotta remember this is not legal advice. I'm no lawyer, never will be a lawyer. If you're a YouTube creator, always seek your own attorney to find out if your content is cool for what how you labeled it is, and let them know that can they legally go after the creator for targeting kids, because basically the wording what YouTube has and the wording has the FTC and COPA is vague. Basically, it's vague, and most attorneys will point that out almost immediately if they're good, if they know how to point it out, and they have to point it out to make sure it's because if we point it out, that means it's legal advice. The attorney has to tell you if they agree with what your findings, or they agree with and they said this is what we found that could help you too. Basically, we found more information that can help you too. So it's something I'm going to be seeking out in the next few days or so, but only if I can afford an attorney. Right now, our budget is pretty tight at this time of year. It's going to be tight anyway. I don't want to spend a lot of money that could endanger our summer trip and that. So I'm basically if it ends up being the case, I may be going in blind. That's probably the best way I can do it, is go in blind and just take a crapshoot in that. All right, we're going to get out of here. It's getting late. I don't want to be on any longer. I know we got 7 people watching. Thank you for chiming in and that. So it's just if you're a content creator, uh, I know it's easy. I know a lot of people is panicking. I know. I'll admit it. I'll admit it myself. Uh, I'll admit it myself. I was one of them too. Basically. So Yeah, so just what I just learned tonight is basically it's all bark, no bite. We should have known this from day one. They say there's no way we can be legally responsible for what YouTube did. It is YouTube's fault. We all agree on one thing. It is YouTube's fault. YouTube got caught their pants down, and they just want to blame the creator or make the creator responsible for their content. And the creators should always be responsible for their content, regardless. Just that we don't want the government telling us that. But right now, even if they go after the individual creator, it's just their case could be full of potholes. They just got to figure out how to get around most of those potholes and that. So if you see, just going to say is if they do come in on January 1st, sometime after January 1st in 2020, and they do take a YouTube creator to task and ends up winning, that would be, I would say, the end of YouTube eventually, because I'm thinking that's what it is. If but right now, uh, I don't see it happening because according to a few people, it's weak as they days and progressive because they're finding other bylaws to prove that their case is weak and that. But seek your attorney if they will do that for you. If you can be able to afford whatever the attorney fees are, and I know I can't myself, it'll bankrupt me on that too. I'm just waiting to see what else can come down the pike. Like one thing, one person says: class action lawsuit, constitutional violations, everything. So basically, that's what we got. That's for us. For us who can't afford an attorney, that's what we need to fall back on in case there was a class action and we want to join in, possibly be part of it. But that. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later and have a good night. And if you're a YouTube creator, keep creating. Just make sure your videos is properly labeled. But right now, even if they come after you, they really have no case. They may have a case, but it's hard to prove on their end. They have to prove it. Basically, it's like a prosecutor. They have to prove their case and that. So, yep. So always seek your attorney if you're in doubt. All right. If you're in doubt, seek your own counsel. All right. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.